So this is new to me to do these kinds of things about whatever I'm doing right now. But what I do basically, in my own mind, I write lines. And some of the lines I use as lyrics for music. And some of the lines I just use as lines for poetry. But to me, I write lines. And it's just something that came to me, and I didn't expect to do it. But then I ran into some hard realities in my life, and as a result of running into these hard realities, one of my ways of dealing with it was I ended up one day I just started writing. And I came to learn, well, it's a good way of expression, it's a way of letting things out. So that's how I found my way into writing, but it was never something I expected to do. And when it showed up, I made a decision to follow those lines and see where they would take me, and so that's pretty much how I handle it and approach it. Now, and also, when I leave here, I'm getting ready to go to Northern California. And I'm going to join with my band, and we've got a little tour up through Northern California that I'm going to when I leave here tomorrow night. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read some of the lyrics to some of the songs, because I need to rehearse these lines and remember them anyway, so I figure I'll just read some of what we're going to be performing. What is tonight? Monday? Tuesday? Thursday night. All right. Okay, this is called Madness and. That's the name of this. Madness and chasing the mundane. Between the scarring of dreams, racing against daytime's nightmares. Trying to put that bad road behind. Here it is already tomorrow afternoon, while the clock claims it's still yesterday. Too many games played in too many heads. So many questions, but nothing gets said. Fear teaches denial how not to think, distorting feelings as a way not to feel. The need to believe shoots up its fix, scoring with promises when the lie doesn't work. With more tears in our eyes than stars, civilized cruelty's disguise of rationalization, elitist class, racist, sexist rage, chains of freedom, and a crack in the Liberty Bell. Wounds without scars, scars without wounds, darkening the heart in an isolation of time. In the shadows, alone is the hunter. Love without love looks for love to survive. Madness and the sane part of insane. Could it be that just to survive or exist, when viewed through the prism of light, can be considered a lower form of life? Now this is called Happy Fell Down. Then Happy fell down, broken into pieces of light. Fragments of shattering love, glimpses of what once was, overwhelmed by what is, and what if, and what could have been. At first it didn't seem like much, but then each stone thrown had a cumulative effect. Whether they hit or missed, each thrown stone became part of the wall they built, turning quarrel into ritual. Losing balance turns habitual. Someone's truths are someone else's lies. During those wars of scars, old wounds keeping time, waging battle in the mind. There's when love is blind. When it opens its eyes, it can disappear. The reality of what is happening is not diminished by their unwillingness to comprehend. It is them who diminish. All right, this is called Famine in the Plenty. Now, and everything I'm reading is from a CD called Madness and. It's Famine in the Plenty. Patience burns quick. waiting for the rich, but the rich won't hurry. The rich eat us, so the rich don't worry. In the sun's shadow, water melts into cold, running rivers of want. Want needs justice, but justice is just ice in these rivers of want. The stars in the night have seen it all. What isn't remembered takes time to weep. The soul isn't empty, yet it feels that way. All those stolen moments still searching to belong. The scent of heaven pulls, the prayers of the prey. Feeling something missing, a constant of every day. Confusion in the happy place. The great lie is one with all the little lies. Edges of breaking dreams, cutting into other dreams. Famine in the plenty, patience burns quick, waiting for the rich, but the rich won't hurry. The rich eat us, so the rich don't worry. This takes more coordination than I really have here. All right, so, but I'll stumble through. All right, this is called Sweeting the Light. In the rhyme of match, these embers of torch, sweeting the light, what you do to me, this temptation of heat, craving your liquid, that deep fire, then sweet rushing flame, an embracing of stirring. Your name is the spark, fire starting this roar, blazing through my heart. Much is said about love, but love seems too tame, with no way to explain our wilding of gentle, the reality of dream, the closeness of close, melting destiny and fate, what is meant to be, an unraveling of need, this drenching of desire, and it all started with your smile. So anyway, this is part of a set that we're going to be doing tomorrow, and or on Wednesday I'm doing up through Northern California. But these, I mean, I use them as lyrics. You know, I mean, this is from the albums that I've written, but it all started from me just writing some lines. You know, it all started there, just writing some lines. And I encourage anyone, you know, because, see, to me, I call it writing lines because, see, like, I'm not really a poet, all right? I'm just a crazy old man, right? Does a lot of different stuff, right? Okay, that's reality. I mean, reality, right? And part of the crazy old man stuff that I do, well, I write lines and I do this and I do that. But that's my reality. See, so when I look at it, but what I like about writing my lines, see, is that I can write whatever I want. I don't have to worry about structure or punctuation or any of that stuff. You know, and for me, that, anyway, it works for me, right? Because what I'm getting at, the basic idea is just to communicate the lines. You know, and it's really, we all, and I figure we all have, I think, see, I look at that, we're human beings. That's who we are, you know. And some of us, we claim the identity, at our essence, at the basic reality of who we are, we're human beings. Now, we've got layered identities by gender and race, and then they complicate it more with religions and political parties and classes and this and that. But when you cut through all the stuff, we're human beings. Yeah, and that's what we are. And that's what we have in common. That is our commonality. But we've become so divided in the madness of of this madness, right, that we're surrounded by, that we don't remember we're human beings anymore. And we get lost in these different identities. And the way I kind of look at it in the industrial reality that we're in now is that almost every identity that we use to cover up being a human being is really a victim identity. You know, if this makes any sense. You know, I'm a victim by race or class or religion or whatever, see? But I'm a human being, and somehow to me, it's about expressing and communicating as a human being, right? And so these lines are my attempt to do that. But I'm crazy, see, I really am. And I say it with gusto, right? Right on, right? But I really am, and I know it. I was a crazy kid, as a crazy young man, as a crazy man, and now I'm a crazy old man. So it got me from there to here, see, so, all right, but it's good, all right? Because, and I'm saying this because I'm encouraging this, right? See, I think that as human beings, when we enter into this reality, see, I think, well, the thing that is called crazy, see, I come from a culture when crazy wasn't bad, see. Crazy it meant you had a relationship with the ancestors. I'll just say it like that. You had a relationship with the ancestors. So that's what crazy meant in our way. See, in this way, excuse the term, but in this alien way to my way, right? You know, and it was alien. I mean, think about this, you know, these strange craft came out of the sky and the ocean, came out of the blue, they landed here, and these strange looking people with these strange animals, and they were meaner than all fuck, right? Got out of these craft, man, and just started just fucking. Well, anyway, you know what I'm saying, right? Okay. Well, I forgot what I was saying, so I scared myself. Oh, no. So anyway, this is called the Mormons. Right? This is what I'm going to read. And the Mormons, so anyway, I had this album, Madness and the Mormons. So the Madness and is its own album. When I started to make this album, I was broke and didn't have any money. And I don't have the money to make one album, so why not make two? Right? And so I set off in that direction, and I came up with Madness and the Mormons. So Madness and is its own concept about us, the madness. I think that this industrial perceptual reality that we're in, it is madness, and it is madness. Right? And the Mormons album is about how I deal with it, right? So the more me's. So I got all these me's in me. See, I never get lonely, right? There's always somebody in here got something to say, and or work out, and I'm the vehicle. But I think it's healthy. I think it's good. All right. Well, I mean, you have them too, and I know that you do. See, but the difference between me and you is I'm going to acknowledge them, right, and accept them for who they are, because I want to participate in this reality as a whole entity, as a whole being. And if I got these little me's and parts of me that I'm in denial about or don't like, and I try to pretend they aren't there, then it gets in the way of me participating in reality as a whole, if this makes any sense to you. There's me, there's the other me, there's another me, and then there are the more me's. We've all got a domino to play, so we've been trying to work it out. We don't know how your life turned or what all that means. But me and the me's, we're not going back. We've already seen what we couldn't do. Any skeletons in our closets are our own private stash of bones that scream with no choice. There's no scream like the next scream, reducing the present into nothing, while eternity is now, not then. Who's divided into what? And how many does that make? There's love that loves, love that fears, love that possesses, love that needs proof. Where's the love that accepts, a love that likes, love that cares? There's no forgetting some reality's destiny threw at us. And fate wasn't much help with its way of loading the load when we didn't have any say and it was up to us to carry it. In the land where the lie is king, using fear like glue. Pretending isn't pretending. At least one of the me's have seen it all. Each and every one of us want the glory, but not a one of us likes the way we fall. Straying is a way of walking when staying isn't an option, because we've been accused of some things we did and some things we didn't do, and we heard I forgive yous that lied. Me and the me's are looking for a me that will answer to me. So far, there's no one who will. And as what I was saying before I got sidetracked, lost in my head, about the crazy, right? And what first made me really think about it was, and this is no comparison. I'm just crazy. But Crazy Horse. And I thought, well, now hold it. Now, Crazy Horse was Crazy Horse. And everybody that has ever heard of Crazy Horse looks up to Crazy Horse. See? So so that's when and then so I looked, and well, because crazy means what it means in our culture and in our way, someone who has this relationship to the ancestors. So it makes me start thinking about the words. Right? And so I think that crazy, I think that what we call this, I think it's a spirit in us, right, that is encoded in the DNA. It comes with us when we enter into this reality. It's there. It's like a medicine. It's a something. See, and they try to civilize it out of us, right? To me, it's a part of the primal, a part of the wild in us, that they try to domesticate and civilize out of our consciousness. So they create these concepts. Madness is madness, and it is. And insanity is insanity, and rage, being enraged is being enraged. These things are these things, but they're not crazy. See, normal is normal, and typical is typical, all right? But they're not crazy. Schizophrenic is schizophrenic, but it's not crazy. Schizophrenia is schizophrenia. Madness is madness. See, each word makes its own sound in the vibratory reality, so each word has its own meaning. All right? See, but we don't know anything about vibratory realities and meanings and sounds, and so we make these sounds, these languages, use these words where we don't know what we're talking about. All right? And then we get trapped and wonder why we're trapped in the reality we're trapped in, but we're trapped in the reality because we make sounds that set off a vibratory chain of reality that keep us trapped in reality. Yes? Does this make sense? Good. Now I'm dizzy again. All right. So crazy. All right. See, and I'm anyone that wants to work with words, understand that we're working with power. So we understand the words and understand the language because these things are sacred and there is meaning. There is something because each word let's say a thought, a word begins as a thought, a feeling, a thought, and then it turns into a sound, going off into a vibratory reality. So I think whatever the feeling is, the sound that we make should be accurate to the feeling that we're expressing, rather than just convenient. So anyway, the crazy part. And the reason I'm going to say I think all of you have it in you, to me I just think it's a biological fact, but have you ever felt it? Have you ever felt like you were going crazy? Is there anyone in this room that never has felt like they were going crazy? I'm amongst friends. Now, well, the mistake is in fighting it. All right? That's the mistake, is in fighting it. All right? I mean, think about it. Now, so we know about insanity, and I'm concerned about sanity. See, this one here concerns me because sanity, everybody wants to be sane. See, but insane means you're just further into sane. Right? There's a clue here. All right? You're better at it. Right? You got in, right? I mean, think about this. Right? Right. So, but sanity, looking at sanity, well, I look at the sane. When I look around, this is a sane world, right? Everybody's trying to be sane, and they fight the crazy and all the other stuff, and they want to be sane. But when I look around at the sane, they're trying to figure out whether if they vote for Obama or McCain, if it's going to change anything. This is what the sane are doing. Completely insane stuff. No offense. All right? All right? When you look at it, the sane are driven by fear-based perceptions of reality. They're insecure. They feel powerless. All right? They're fearful. All right? They don't know where they're headed. So this whole idea of striving to be sane, I question it. Am I making sense? I mean, see, I'm crazy. I don't want that. All right? So what I'm getting at, in a way, here is we need to really examine if we write or into these things, we should really examine what it is about how we feel and learn to communicate it is as to what our feelings are, because that's what's really needed, is a communication of feelings. Not a communication of emotions, a communication of feelings, because this is how human beings communicate. Human beings communicate through a communication of feelings. All right? Victims communicate through a communication of emotions. All right? And there's a difference. See, feelings are feelings. This is how you feel. If you ever had an emotional meltdown on someone and then later thought, I wish I'd have said this or I meant that, all right? See, so obviously the emotional thing isn't really, there's an issue here. Is this making sense? Okay. Now, I don't know really what's going on because we're kind of making this up as we go along, but if somebody wants to come up here and read, you're sure welcome to, right? Because or wants to come and participate at any time, feel free to, right? So I'm not going to impose anything on anyone, but I'm saying, it's, anyway, somebody wants to. Sounds good to me. And time isn't long enough to take away how I'm missing you. In the light's shadows, distance holds the memories sent to the shadows for safekeeping. These feelings of longer than time, writing yesterdays into tomorrows, with only memories as links. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. I know I'll stop laughing, but don't know if I can stop crying. My mind scatters through dimensions. The way you held me altered my reality. In some kind of unseparating of separation, inside of me I'm holding you, holding me. Sweethearts, sounds of smiles and close, the sweet heat of forever and beyond. These thinkings of you with an imaging of smiles from our closing of close. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. I know I'll stop laughing, but don't know if I can stop crying. Inside my head, the lingering of your voice is the best love song I will ever hear. In the playing it out, before you had to leave, you brought us our house of secret togethers and builded with love, caring and warmth as your way of staying when you left. Now during these drifting days, in the spiritually of together apart, wandering through this remembering in a resurrection of thoughts and dreams, reliving the memories held in safekeeping. These feelings of longer than time, writing yesterdays into tomorrows, with only memories as links. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. I know I'll stop laughing, but don't know if I can stop crying. Earth songs play back to the stars, beyond the thens, nows, and forevers. The duality of one, finding you, finding me, in the house of secret togethers. Painting the paintings called the lives we lived, these sketchings and etchings, memory drawings, who we've seen, what we've been, as we moved, writing out the time, headed back toward each other.
destiny's attraction of magnetic cast as a spell, shivering the night in an explosion of light, spectrums of colors in every heartbeat, sweet holding with a first kiss to seal our fate. In the close to you with the love I found, the missing part of me isn't missing anymore in our house of secret togetherness.